Shalom. First off, giving all praises to the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. Today's class, the Sabbath day, the set-apart day of the Lord. What I'm trying to do here is make sure that as being watchmen for Israel, that we make sure we teaching the laws to Israel. And the Sabbath day is one of those laws that we need to make sure we know how to keep unto the Lord. So let's start with Romans 15:4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Were written for what?
For our learning.
So in order for us to learn the heritage that we keep, we have to make sure that we are studying to show ourselves approved. So we can make sure that we loving the Most High God. Because this is one of His commandments. Read.
That we, through patience.
Through what?
Through patience.
This walk is going to take patience. You're not going to be able to learn this Bible in one night. It's going to take patience. You're going to have mistakes. But the goal is to practice perfectly. Because perfect practice is what makes perfect. Read on.
And comfort.
And what?
And comfort.
Read.
Of the scriptures.
Of the what?
Of the scriptures.
Read on.
Might have hope.
This is our hope, Israel. This is our way of walking into the kingdom. Let's make sure that we taking heed to doing what thus says the Lord in our walk. We dealing with the Sabbath day today. Give me Revelations 1:3. When you get there, I'll read it.
The book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
Does what?
Blessed is he that readeth.
So it says, the man that reads his heritage book and practice his heritage book is a blessed man. Read on.
And they that hear the words of this prophecy.
Let's break down that word here. Here is going into understanding. He said, blessed is he that readeth, and they that understand the words of this prophecy. Read.
And keep those things which are written therein.
And put in action those things that are written therein. Read.
For the time is at hand.
For the what?
For the time is at hand.
The kingdom of heaven is at hand, people. And we got to make sure we're walking in His ways. We have to read this Bible to make sure we're keeping our heritage correctly. If we don't do it that way, then it's just like one of the things we deal with in the world. It's like a don't care situation. Let's get Joshua 1:8. It's like a don't care situation. So in order for us to make sure we're walking in all His ways, we have to, Israel, constantly study and read to show ourselves approved under the Most High Lord, under the Most High God. Read that up.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8.
Read.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
In order for you to always speak on the Bible, in order for you got to be drilling this in your head. You got to be drilling this in your mind. He said, take this roll, eat this roll, study this Bible. Read on.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
How long?
Day and night.
We're supposed to meditate in this Bible every day and every night. We're supposed to make sure that this is the first thing we do and the last thing we do. Understand what the Most High is doing. He's actually building you up to be able to what? You're conditioning your mind to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. You're conditioning your mind to love Him, to walk in all His ways. Read on.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Read.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Make thy way what?
Prosperous.
That's the only way an Israelite is going to make his way prosperous, is to do what? Is to walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments. Because we being obedient unto our God. Read.
And then thou shalt have good success.
And then thou shalt have what?
Good success.
It's a reason that our people are on the bottom in every city and every state, because of separation from us and our heritage. Now we have been brought back to that. It's time for us to take heed to what the Most High is trying to give his people. Now, give me Hebrews 4 and 11. Let me get there with you out. Understand something. And it's taking constant work. It's going to take constant work to get to where we need to be. Read.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Let us labor.
Let us do what?
Let us labor.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, to enter into that rest.
So we have to labor in this truth. We have to strive in this truth until death. This is not an easy task. This is something day in and day out. This is not a fad. This is a lifestyle. So we got to make sure we live in our lifestyle correctly. That's the only way we're going to walk into the kingdom, Israel. Read on.
Lest any man fail after the same example of unbelief.
And if you fall after the same example of unbelief, a lot of our brothers fall right back into this world. Fall right back into doing what? Going to church on Sunday. They fall right back into doing what? Defiling God's Sabbath day. Guess where they at? They at the club on the Sabbath. Guess where they at? They at the game on the Sabbath. Guess where they at? They at the liquor store on the Sabbath. Understand this, man. They do not respect the Most High's high holy day. Because what? Because of their unbelief. But it's about time that we start teaching these things. Romans 12 and 1. Let's get Romans 12 and 1. Read it when you get there out.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1.
Read.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God,
read,
that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
That ye do what?
Present your body a living sacrifice.
We no longer have to sacrifice animals for sin. We no longer have to sacrifice turtle dove. We have to sacrifice our bodies by doing what? By putting the laws of the Most High in action. Read on. Holy, separate. We got to separate ourselves from this world, from everything that's going on here, because it's been constant lies since we've been over here. So we have to make a separation and do what? How do we separate ourselves? We keep the laws of God, and we don't deal with nothing outside of what's going on with the Most High. Read.
Acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable duty.
Read it again.
Which is your reasonable service.
That's our reasonable service. That is our job. That is our duty, to make sure that we walking in all these laws, man, to make sure that we are reaching out and seeking what is well-pleasing unto the Most High. That is our job, Israel. Read on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Do what?
Be not conformed to this world.
Don't be conformed to the ways of this world, read.
But be ye transformed.
But be ye what?
Be ye transformed.
When it says be ye transformed, it says be ye changed. Read.
By the renewing of your mind.
By the what?
By the renewing of your mind.
Because the renewing of your mind is accepting your nationality. The renewing of your mind is accepting your heritage. The renewing of your mind is understanding that you are one of the Most High's chosen people, and it's your job to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only duty you got, Israel. Read on.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect.
And what?
And perfect.
Read.
Will of God.
What is that? What is that good and acceptable, perfect will of God? Let's get that in Psalms 40 and 7 right quick. Psalms 40 and 7. The Bible, the white man made it hard for you, but the Most High made it easy for his people to get an understanding if they would just keep his commandments. Read that when you get there.
The book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7.
Read.
Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book.
This is Yahushua. Read.
It is written of me.
He said this book is written about him. Let's see what the perfect will of God is. Read.
I delight to do thy will.
He said, I delight to do the will of my Father. Read.
Oh my God. Yea, Thy law.
Thy what?
Thy law.
Read.
Is written in my heart.
That law is written in the heart and in our minds. So the will of God is his laws. Without his laws, we are nothing. Without his guidance, we are nothing. That's what our people don't understand. There's a lot of our, matter of fact, give me Sirach 20 and 32 right quick. Sirach 20 and 32. Because I want to explain this. And a lot of our people fall by the wayside because of this right here. Read that out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 32. Necessary patience in seeking the Lord.
Read.
Is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide.
Without a what?
Without a guide.
All these Israelites out here that's walking around blind, they have no guide to their life because they won't humble themselves, come back to their heritage, come back to their God, and do what's right unto the Lord. That's why they don't have a guide. They don't have the patience that it takes to do what? To walk in his ways, man. They don't have the patience that it takes to wait on the Most High to make their steps, to make their crooked steps straight, man. That's the problem. Let's go to Joshua 23 and 11 right quick. Joshua 23 and 11.
The book of Joshua, chapter 23, verse 11.
Read.
Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves.
Read.
That ye love the Lord your God.
That ye do what?
That ye love the Lord your God.
And us being Israelites, the only way you can love the unseen, Most High, is to do his will. Keep his laws. Read.
Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations.
That's what's wrong with a lot of our people right now today. They have cleaved unto the remnant of these other nations. They've cleaved unto them. So what are they doing? They are Muslims now. They worship in a rock. They are involved in Christianity now. They bow down to the cross. They worship Caesar Borgia. See, understand something. Our people have cleaved to these other nations. We got people in Buddhism. We got people in meditation, sitting around a bunch of incense and praying to the unknown God, which is another form of idolatry. Read on.
Even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them.
Read.
And they to you.
Understand, that's a problem with a lot of our people. They done start dealing with them so much that now they don't want to leave them alone. They can't walk away from them because they got 4 children by Becky. She can't walk away from them because she got 5 children by Tom. But guess what? The Most High is going to punish them for that. Because though they walk hand in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. That's just the way it is. Read.
Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you.
Understand, as long as we in sin, we don't have his help. Read.
But they shall be snares.
What?
Snares.
What's a snare? A snare is to be brought into unexpected evil. What did they do? Sunday worship is a snare. Islam is a snare. Buddhism is a snare. Going and worshiping your pastor, that's a snare. Read.
And traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes.
Read.
Until ye perish.
Until ye what?
Until ye perish.
We dying, people. We dying because we won't accept who we are. Read.
From off this good land, which the Lord your God hath given you.
Read on.
And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth.
This is Joshua. He's telling the children of Israel he's about to die. Read.
And ye know in all your hearts, in all your souls, that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which the Lord your God spake concerning you.
And what does it say? It say, if we read this Bible, that nothing in this Bible will fail an Israelite. So we have to think hard on what God is asking us to do. Each and every law should be a self-examination addition to your life in order for you to walk that fine line. Because it says without him, we fail. But with him, we won't fail. With his words, they will not fail us. Read on.
All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing hath failed thereof.
And not what?
And not one thing hath failed thereof.
Read.
Thereof it shall come
Read
to
it
pass.
again. Read it again.
Therefore it shall come to pass
Uh-huh.
that as all good things are come upon you, which the Lord your God promised you,
Read.
so shall the Lord bring upon you all evil things.
All what?
All evil things.
Read on.
Until he have destroyed you from off the good land which the Lord your God hath given you.
So understand why he's trying to bring us back. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge right now. Understand why the prophets are out there on the corner, the prophets of the Most High. They're trying to bring the people back to their heritage so they can finally live, man, and stop being part of the walking dead. Read.
When ye have transgressed the covenant of the Lord your God, which he commanded you.
This is part of that covenant, the Sabbath day. In order for us to really live out this covenant, we got to make sure that we keeping the Sabbath holy. Read.
And have gone and served other gods and bowed yourself to them.
Uh-huh.
Then shall the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Be what?
Be kindled against you.
You do not want the anger of the Lord kindled against you. That's what got us thrown on them slave ships. That's why a lot of us was out here bugged out on drugs, thinking that we was going to hit the lottery, thinking that we was going to find $1,000. A lot of brothers right now are bugged out on water that where they can't even talk. They can't even move their mouth, man. A lot of our brothers are bugged out on cocaine where they can't even think straight without it. Understand, man, these drugs, this life is not for Israel. This Bible is. Read.
And ye shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you.
Understand what the Most High is trying to deal with his people, man. Exodus 20 and 8. Trying to do what's righteousness unto the Most High. And a lot of our people, man, they just don't want to come back when it's the best place for them. Read on.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8.
Read.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Do what?
Remember the Sabbath day.
Read.
To keep it holy.
We have to keep the Sabbath day holy, man. Give me Leviticus 20 and 26. You have to keep the Sabbath day holy. What is the Most High telling us to do with his Sabbath day? Read it when you get there, Rob.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26.
Read.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
Uh-huh.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
Read.
And have served you.
Read it again.
And the Lord am holy. The Lord am holy, and have served you.
Severed you.
Severed you from other people.
Read.
That ye should be mine.
Severed means separate. So he said, keep his day holy. Keep his day separate. On his high holy day, his day is to be separate from everything else. So on his day, we supposed to be doing what? Enjoying him.
That's right.
Our people don't understand that. They think on his day, we got camps out here saying you can do whatever pleases you that makes you happy on his day because it's supposed to be pleasing him. So playing your PlayStation is pleasing him. So going out cooking you a meal is pleasing him. So going to the mall or going to the club, that's pleasing him. That's a lie, Israel. Let's go back. Exodus 20 and 9. Read it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 9. 6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work.
Read.
But the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day.
Read.
Is the Sabbath of the Lord.
Understand that, people. The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord. Now, we got people that say the Sabbath day jump around. In that case, if it jumps around, how is it the seventh day of every week? There's no way that can happen, Israel. What we got? You just go off. Let's get it. Start from now.
6 days shall thy labor, and do all thy work.
Read.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord.
Read on.
Thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
And on his day, you're not supposed to be doing any work. Read.
Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughters.
Read.
Thy manservant, nor thy maidservant.
Read on.
Nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Nobody's supposed to be doing any work on the Lord's Sabbath day. Everybody's supposed to be resting and speaking his word. We're going to get to that. Read on.
For in the 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth,
Read.
the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
And did what?
And hallowed it.
He blessed the seventh day and he hallowed that day. So that day is to be the day of the Lord. There's no way you can jump the Sabbath around and it's the seventh day of every week. Show me the math, Israel. Show me the math where that's supposed to be. Let's get to Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Read it when you get there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1.
Read.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished.
So at this point, the Most High was through building the heaven and the earth. Read.
And all the host of them.
And all the host of them. That means all the animals, all the trees, all the grass. Everything was occupying the earth that the Most High had done. Read.
And on the seventh day, God ended his work, which he had made, and he rested.
And he what?
And he rested.
Read.
On the seventh day, from all his work, which he had made.
Read on.
And God blessed the seventh day.
And God did what?
And God blessed the seventh day.
Read.
And sanctified it.
And did what?
And sanctified it.
Read.
Because that in it he had rested from all his work, which God created and made.
Understand that he made that day, he blessed that day, he blessed the seventh day. So for all those having church on Sunday, how did y'all even get there? Because he blessed the seventh day. And in the Bible, what does it say? Matter of fact, give me Malachi 3 and 6 right quick. Read that when you get there. Understand, what did the Most High say about his word? What did he say about what he says? Read that out.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 6. For I am the Lord. I change not.
I what?
I change not.
So when did the Sabbath day change? Because the Most High said he changes not. Read.
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
Therefore, the sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, are still here. And we still have laws, statutes, and commandments to abide by. Let's get Leviticus 23 and 3 right quick. When you get there, read it.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 3. 6 days shall work be done. But the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day.
Read.
Is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation.
A what?
A holy convocation.
A holy convocation is a holy gathering. That's just saying we're supposed to be having church on that day. So on his day that he asked for us to rest is also a day to glorify and worship him. So we're supposed to be doing what? Having that holy gathering of the brethren on that day. Read on out.
Ye shall do no work therein.
We are not supposed to be working on his high holy day. Now I do understand that we in captivity. Some of our brothers and sisters have to work on the Sabbath. Keep praying, keep fasting, and the Most High will move you in the right direction to please Him. But you got to stay diligent on your walk. Read on out.
It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling.
No, it's just some of the dwelling.
In all your dwelling.
In all the 12 tribes of Israel, the Sabbath of the Lord is supposed to be respected. Give me Hebrews 10 and 25 right quick. When you get there, read it out. Hebrews 10, verse 25.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
Not forsaking the assembling of yourselves together.
So understand what he was going into right here. We're supposed to have a holy convocation on the Sabbath. He says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. You are not supposed to miss the gathering on the Sabbath day. That is a commandment. Read.
As the manner of some is.
Because some of our people are out kicking it on God's high holy day when they should be doing what? Gathering with their brothers, showing brotherly love, sisterly love. Read.
But exalting one another.
But exhorting one another, but building one another up, making sure we all walking in the faith, making sure we are very encouraging to one another. Read.
And so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
And so much the more as we see the day of the Lord approaching, we're supposed to be dealing with one another, gathering with one another, loving one another, building one another. Read on out.
For if we sin willfully,
But if we sin willfully, if we miss the Sabbath day gathering willfully, read.
after that we have received the knowledge of the truth,
After you have learned that you're supposed to gather with your brothers and sisters on the Sabbath day, read.
there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
There is no excuse for your action, and you will be punished for doing such. Period. The Most High He know His people. He know we fighting in captivity. But are you praying? Are you fasting for change? Or are you just looking for Him to show you some love without you doing anything for Him? What does the Most High say about that? Give me Luke 6 and 46 right quick.
The book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 46.
Read.
And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say?
Why call His name? Why call upon Him like that and don't do nothing that He's asking you to do? We got people hooping and hollering in them Sunday worship churches. Lord, Lord, Lord. But they will not read this Bible and do what He say do. Those same people hollering, Lord, 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 got a big Christmas tree in their house. They got their house decorated with Halloween decoration. They got Easter eggs and stuff on their house on Easter. These things right here, how are they calling up on the Lord but not doing nothing they say? So when your mama die or your father dies because you still wicked, understand they deserve it. There will be no tears shedded in Israel for wicked people. Y'all supposed to be doing what the Most High say do. Give me Isaiah 58 and 13 right quick. That's what's wrong with Israel.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 13.
Let me get there with you. Get there with you right quick. I'm moving fast today. Go ahead.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasures on my holy day.
He said, if you turn your foot away from His Sabbath day, from doing thy pleasure on His holy day, read.
And call the Sabbath of the light, the holy of the Lord.
See, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be turning our feet to the testimony. Once you find out a law, you need to adopt that law and add it to your life. Once you find out that you are wrong about something and you've been corrected to do the right thing, you're supposed to start doing the right thing from that point on. But he said if you turn your foot from it, read on.
Honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways.
Not doing what?
Not doing thine own ways.
So you're not supposed to be out at the liquor store getting a case of beer for the game on the Sabbath. You're not supposed to be out in the backyard barbecuing, getting ready to do your own thing on his day. You're not supposed to be gossiping on the phone about foolishness and other things on his high holy day. Read.
Nor finding thine own pleasures.
Nor finding thine what?
Own pleasures.
Read.
Nor speaking thine own words.
Nor doing what?
Nor speaking thine own words.
On the Most High Sabbath day, we're not even supposed to be interacting in casual conversation. We're supposed to be in these scripts. Read on up. Hold that right there. Hold that. Give me Isaiah 56 and 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice.
Read.
For my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed.
The righteousness of the Most High is to be revealed. That righteousness is his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Read on.
Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it.
Read.
That keepeth the Sabbath.
That do what?
That keepeth the Sabbath.
Read.
From polluting it.
How do you pollute the Sabbath day? Doing your own will on his day. That's how you pollute it. Read on.
And keepeth his hands from doing any evil.
And keepeth his hands from doing any evil. You pollute the Sabbath day. How do you pollute the Sabbath day? Going to Sunday worship. How do you pollute the Sabbath day? Taking your children to the park instead of teaching them about the laws of the Most High. How do you pollute the Sabbath day? At home gossiping on the phone. These different things. How do you pollute the Sabbath day? You still in sin. Sister still wearing dress. Sister still wearing pants. When she get to the house. But when she come in this building, she got a dress on. Understand something. You have to be obedient to his word, period. Read on, Art.
Neither let the son of the stranger.
That was it on that, Art. Let's go to Isaiah 58 and 14 right quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 14.
Read.
Then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord.
When you stop speaking your own words, doing your own ways on his high holy day, then you going to delight yourself in the Lord. Read.
And I will cause thee to ride upon the high places on the earth.
Don't y'all want that, Israel? Don't y'all want to be on top again? Don't y'all want to be in rulership again? I can't tell from some of our people. Because this Bible is talking about those who are awakened. We got awakened Israelites still out here playing with the Lord's Sabbath. We see camps going to McDonald's when we downtown. We see camps going around the corner buying food, and the Sabbath still in. We don't know.
And feed thee with the heritage of Jacob.
And he's going to do what?
Feed thee with the heritage of Jacob.
He's feeding us with the heritage of our forefathers when we decide to dwell in his righteousness. Read on.
Thy father, for the mouth of the Lord have spoken it.
And God said that. The Most High said that. The Lord said that. A lot of our people are not acknowledging his word. A lot of us don't really fear him. That's another problem in Israel. A lot of people do not fear the Lord. Give me Nehemiah 10 and 31. Understand, we're going through this. We're trying to teach the people to make sure that they take care of the Most High's business. Read that out.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31.
Read.
And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell.
To do what?
To sell.
Read.
That we would not buy it.
That we would not what?
That we would not buy it.
Read.
Of them on the Sabbath.
So understand, on the Sabbath day, we was not supposed to be buying. Now let me show you something. Give me Deuteronomy 15 and 1. Let's get Deuteronomy 15:1. When you get there, read it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
At the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release.
You know what? My bad. I should have finished. Let's go back to 31. Finish 31 for me. Nehemiah 10:31. Start from the top.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31.
Excuse me, Israel, for that one. Go ahead, read.
And if the people of the land bring where any victual on the Sabbath day to sell,
Uh-huh.
that we would not buy it.
That we would not what?
That we would not buy it.
Read.
Of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day.
Uh-huh.
That we would leave the 7 year. And the exaction
Uh-huh.
of every debt.
Understand what this is going into. If you had a brother or sister that was in debt to you, after 7 years, you would let that debt go. Now let's go to Deuteronomy 15:1. Let me show you something. And I want to show y'all how the so-called white man is actually using this same thing. Read on up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
At the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release.
Uh-huh.
And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lendeth ought unto his neighbor.
Ought unto what?
His neighbor.
Now, he said every creditor that lendeth ought unto his neighbor. Hold that precept and give me Leviticus 19:17 right quick. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17.
Read.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt in no any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So did you just hear that? He said, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise correct thy neighbor. Neighbor and brother is really the same word. Read on.
And not suffer sin upon him.
Read.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Those are your brothers and your neighbor. Read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Uh-huh.
I am the Lord.
I am who?
I am the Lord.
He said you're supposed to love your brother as yourself or love your neighbor as yourself. The Bible is telling us exactly who our people are, who our nation is, and who our enemies are. And some of Israel are not paying attention to it. Let's go back. 15:2. Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 2.
Read.
And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lendeth aught unto his neighbor shall release it.
Read.
He shall not act it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called the Lord's release.
The what?
The Lord's release.
So they're supposed to cancel that debt that they are in when it comes to that. Now read verse 12 for me right quick.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 12.
Read.
And if thy brother, an Hebrew man, or a Hebrew woman.
So it once again solidifies that a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman is your brother or your sister. Understand that. This Bible is not talking about doing this with all other nations. But let me show you how Esau worked and how he uses this Bible as a tool for himself. Read verse 3, y'all.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 3. Of a foreigner, thy mayest exact in again, but that which is thine with thy brother, thine hand shall release. So he's saying that if it's your brothers, you can release it. So you can exempt his debt. But if it's a foreigner, somebody that's not of your nation, you still can exact it from him. What does the so-called white man do to us? Do we not walk in them courtrooms and they give them time served or they give them dismissed tickets, but they put the black man on a payment plan? Does that not happen? Pay attention, Israel. We foreigners here in this country. That's why we have the biggest debt. You got a credit card bill you cannot pay right now.
But the so-called white man will find a loophole for him to get out of that debt. You're going to have to pay that debt. Understand that. They know the scriptures, and they use them against the people that the scriptures belong to. Let's go to Exodus 35 and 3 right quick. Let me get there with you too. Exodus 35 and 3. Read it when you get there.
The book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day.
He said, what now?
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day.
So we are not supposed to be cooking. He said, you shall kindle no fire. So I'm going to show you something. You got brothers saying that you can use your microwave on the Sabbath day. What is kindling a fire? Ain't a kindling a fire cooking your food? A microwave is just another machine to cook your food. So now you're trying to find a loophole for you to eat a warm meal. We don't do that here. We eat sandwiches on the Sabbath day. We eat cereal on the Sabbath day. We eat a meal, but it ain't a cooked meal. Understand that. Israel tries to find loopholes to satisfy themselves instead of just doing what the Most High say do. Now, give me Exodus 16 and 22. Let's grab that. Let's see what we're supposed to be doing on the Sabbath. Read that out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 22.
Read.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice, and much bread, 2 mirrors, for one man, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses.
Read.
And he said unto them, this is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest.
Tomorrow is the Sabbath. Read.
Of the holy Sabbath. Unto the Lord.
Read.
Bake that which ye bake today.
Make a preparation for the Sabbath. So do what? Bake and cook what you're going to eat today. Read on.
And see it that ye see it, and that which remaineth over lay up.
And whatever you don't eat, or whatever is left over, keep it, read.
For you to be kept until the morning.
Uh-huh.
And they laid it up till the morning.
Read.
As Moses bid. It did not stink.
It did not spoil. Read.
Neither was there any worm therein.
Neither did any worm. You know how, let's say, if you leave meat somewhere for a long period of time, it'll turn into maggots. Okay, they just kept the food overnight. It didn't spoil. It wasn't rotten. Nothing was wrong with it. Read on.
And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath.
So eat what you had left over for today, because today is the Sabbath. So when we doing the Sabbath day, and we know we can't cook on the Sabbath, we make a preparation of the food that we gonna eat on the Sabbath. So, boy, if you're gonna make tuna on the Sabbath, boil your eggs the day before. You feel what I'm saying? Do what you got to do the day before, so you won't have to break God's high holy day. Read on out.
Unto the Lord, today ye shall not find it in the field.
Today you won't be doing any work, so you can't go out and find what you need in the field. So make your preparations the day before. Read.
6 days ye shall gather it. But on the 7th day.
But on the what?
But on the 7th day.
Read.
Which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none.
There shall be nobody working on the Sabbath day. That's all the Bible is saying. He gives us what to do, and he tells us how to prep and get ready for what we're doing. All we got to do is seek the scriptures. All we got to do is study to show ourselves approved. This is how we're supposed to take care of ourselves during the Lord's Sabbath. And some of our people spoil. Some of our people still get up and drink coffee. Some of our people still get up and warm their donuts up in the microwave, saying that that's cool. No, man. We're not supposed to be cooking anything on this day. If it's hard for you, put your microwave in the closet. Give me Exodus 31 and 12.
The book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Read.
Speak thou also unto the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
saying, Verily, my Sabbath ye shall keep. For it is a sign
It is
between
a what?
It is a sign
That sign is, it is a memorial. Read.
between me and you
Read.
throughout your generation.
So as long as our people are generating, this Sabbath is a sign or a memorial set up for us. Read.
That ye may know that I am the Lord,
Uh-huh.
that doeth sanctify you,
That doth what?
that sanctify you.
That doth cleanse us, sanctify his people. Read.
Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you.
We're supposed to keep the Sabbath because it's holy unto us. Read.
Everyone that defileth it,
Everyone that doth not keep it, read.
it shall surely be put to death.
It shall what?
It shall surely be put to death.
The Most High not playing with his people about his laws. Read.
For whosoever doeth any work therein,
Uh-huh.
that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
So don't play with this Sabbath day, people. Read on.
6 days may work be done,
6 days we supposed to get the work done. Read.
but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest,
Uh-huh.
holy to the Lord.
Separate unto the Lord. Read.
Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
He shall surely be put to death. Now let's get the example of that. Give me Numbers 15 and 32. Numbers 15 and 32. Let's give you a good example of what's going on here. When you get there, read it out.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 32.
Read.
And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day.
They found a man working on the Sabbath day. Read.
And they found him gathering sticks,
Uh-huh.
brought him unto Moses and Aaron,
Read.
and unto all the congregation.
So when they seen him breaking God's laws, they brought him unto the elders, Moses and Aaron. Read on.
And they put him inward,
And they locked him up. Read.
because it was not declared what should be done to him.
It's because they didn't know what to do to him just yet. Read on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death.
He said, this man shall surely be put to death. Read.
All the congregation,
No, just some of
all the congregation
them. Read.
shall stone him with stones without the camp.
So they're going to take him outside of the camp and they're going to stone him. Read.
And all the congregation brought him without the camp
Uh-huh.
and stoned him with stones.
Read.
And he died, as the Lord commanded Moses.
Because he was breaking the Most High's law. I'm going to show you something. The Most High had to make an example out of him to show everybody else not to defile his high holy day, his Sabbath day, not to defile and break his laws. This was the example made. Now, what the Most High do right after that? He backdoored it because he knew some of our people sinned through ignorance. Read on out.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
and bid them,
And do what?
and bid them,
And command them. Read.
that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments
Uh-huh.
throughout their generation.
How long?
Throughout their generation.
Read.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Uh-huh.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So he gave us a dress code to help us to remember not to break his laws. He gave us a dress code to remember to keep his Sabbath day holy. Read on.
And to do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart
Uh-huh.
and your own eyes.
See, when you start your own heart, that means the things that your mind thinks. I'm going to show you something. In your eyes, when your eyes see something, it brings a lust up on our people. And what does that make them? That makes them think. That's why we have our sisters wearing loose dresses down to the foot. Because we might have a brother in here dealing with what? Whoremongering. He might be trying to come out of this. But if he see a bunch of sisters hitting his door in tight dresses, how is that helping him? That's why that dress is supposed to be loosened down to the foot. Because he's going to do what? If he's just not getting in this truth, he's not strong enough to be around that type of environment. So we have to make sure that everyone is keeping God's laws to make sure that we have the safe environment for all our people, because they dealing with stuff. So he gave us these fringes to do what? To remind us. So if that brother sees something out of line, guess what he can do? Look at his fringes. Turn his head. The Most High gave us this. This is a law. Read.
After which ye use to go a whoring.
And that wasn't just whoring with dealing with male and female. That was whoring after other gods. That was dealing with idolatry. So he gave us something to help us, to give us a reminder of, hey, I'm not supposed to be doing this on his day. Where you at? 40, verse 40. Finish it out.
That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
So this garment, the fringes, was to make us remember to keep the commandments. Read.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, to be your God.
To do what?
To be your God.
Read.
I am the Lord your God.
He said he put that possession on there to let us know we belong to him. Give me Exodus 31 and 16. When you get there, read it out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 31, verse 16.
Read.
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath. To observe the Sabbath.
To keep or to obey. That's what that observe means. Read.
Throughout their generations.
How long?
Throughout their generation.
Read.
For a perpetual covenant.
For a never-ending covenant. So no matter what anyone says, we are supposed to be keeping this Sabbath holy. It's a never-ending covenant memorial between us and our Lord and Savior. Read.
It is a sign between me and the children of Israel.
It is a memorial between me and the children of Israel. Read.
Forever. For in the 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth. And on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed.
And was what?
And was refreshed.
Now I'm going to show y'all something. The Most High created everything, and he took his rest, and he was refreshed. You know what's supposed to be refreshing us? Our holy convocation with one another. That's supposed to be refreshing us. Us being around each other, exhorting one another, building one another up. That's supposed to be refreshing us. Refreshing us is just to be around our brothers and sisters, having that holy convocation unto the Lord. That refreshes us as a people. That starts that week off right. Because I've been around all my brothers for the Sabbath. They've been building me up. They've been kicking scriptures back and forth. I'm telling you something about this, man. When you with your family and they building through these scriptures, ain't another love like that. Building one another up, looking out for one another, correcting, critiquing, staying on top of what the Most High telling us to do. Nothing feels better than that. Our people got to come out of the world. Once you come out of that world and you walk in here and put on the new man, it's a whole new feeling to it. Keeping these laws become refreshing to our people. Let's get Jeremiah 17 and 21. Jeremiah 17, 21. Read it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 21. Thus said the Lord, take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
He said, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day. We're not supposed to bear any burdens. We're not supposed to be, the Sabbath day, just like it just said, it's supposed to be refreshing. So we're not supposed to be bearing any burdens on the Sabbath day. Your 6 days we work, within them 6 days should be the counseling, the marriage counseling. In those 6 days should be the brotherly love counseling. In those 6 days shall be the meetings and taking care of the business, getting all the burdens and all the unsatisfactory things going on in your school out. Because on the Sabbath day, it's supposed to be refreshing and joyful. Read on, Art.
Nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
Read on.
Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day. Neither do ye any work, but hallow ye the Sabbath day.
But do what?
But hallow ye the Sabbath day.
Read.
As I command your fathers.
Understand what the Most High was doing here. Now, give me Nehemiah right quick. Nehemiah 13 and Nehemiah 13. Is it Nehemiah 13 and 19? Yeah, Nehemiah 13 and 19.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 19.
Let me get there, all right? My bad. I'm moving slow today. Go ahead, all right?
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 19.
Read.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut.
Understand, this is Nehemiah dealing with the building of the wall. Read on.
And charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gate, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
What was he doing? He was protecting the house. No burden should be brought into the temple on the Sabbath day. No foolishness, no burdens, nothing that you're dealing with should be brought in here. It's time for the refreshing and the resting of the Lord. That's right. Read on, Art.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of were lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
Understand, they came to sell. Read.
Then I testified against them, and said unto them,
Read.
Why lodge ye about the wall?
Why y'all out here at the wall? Why y'all out here at the temple with your victuals? Read.
If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
I will what?
I will lay hands on you.
Nehemiah didn't play no games. If y'all come out here with this foolishness again, laying stumbling blocks for my brothers again, I'm going to put these hands on you.
That's right.
Read.
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
Because I'm telling you, man, the prophets did not play any games about the Most High's high holy days, his laws, statutes, and his commandments. They didn't play no games. And that's the same way we supposed to be. Because the spirit of the prophets are upon us. Because we the ones out here teaching the people. So we cannot play games with our people about the Most High holy days and his holy days and his set apart days. We can't play about that. Because this is a memorial between us and him. It's a sign. Give me Isaiah 9 and 13 right quick. Read it when you get there, all right?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 13.
Read.
For the people turneth not unto him that smiteth them.
Most High is beating our back end out here. And still and yet, our people are not turning unto him. Our people are not coming back to him. Read.
Neither do they seek the Lord of hosts.
They're not seeking him either. Read.
Therefore the Lord will cut off from Israel head and tail.
That's what's happened to our people. Our leaders are cut off. And the bottom of the barrel of our people are cut off. He cut them off, man. Read.
Branch and rush in one day. The ancient and the honorable, he is the head.
The ancient and the honorable are the head. They've been cut off. They no longer can teach us what to do. The Most High is bringing back the memory upon our people now. He's opened it up. Read.
And the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail.
And those wicked pastors in them churches and in them what's they call where the Muslims be, the Mastah, whatever they at, them wicked preachers and pastors up in there teaching lies to the people, man. They are the tail. They're gonna be killed, man. Read.
For the leaders of these people caused them to err.
It's the leaders of our people telling us that to worship the Most High on Sunday. It's the leaders of our people that have jumped in the sack with the wickedness of the world who's teaching us to break God's laws. Read.
And they that are led of them or destroyed.
And they that are led of them are what?
Or destroyed.
Our people are being destroyed out here because they lack in the knowledge of the Most High. Read.
Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men.
How does he have no joy in the young men? Because the young men are not keeping his laws. The young men have not been taught. Because what? The wickedness of the elders, the wickedness of the prophets that prophesy lies, man. Read.
Neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows, for everyone is an hypocrite.
Is a what?
Is an hypocrite.
Read.
And every evildoer.
Uh-huh.
And every mouth speaketh folly.
All of them are sin. And he's not dealing with that, man. Read.
For all these his anger is not turned away.
His anger is not turned away from his people. But let me show you something about our Father, man. Read on.
But his hand is stretched out still.
His hand still stretched out because he's waiting on Israel to repent and get their stuff together, man. What do you think? We have a true fair God. We was wicked. He punished us. He's given us time to get it together again. You either going to walk into the kingdom or you're going to walk into the lake of fire. Keep God's laws, man. On that we say shalom.